Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's question and answer session with myself and Mr. Chris Palmer, who looks all squished up. Chris has got new equipment here, and he claims he's this digital whiz kid, but can't even get the camera working properly. So, yeah, but
I blame it on these guys.
We are sponsored by odys.cc. The link's below. Check out them if you're interested in age domains or done for you affiliate websites or anything like that. It's always a good place to check out and get yourself some decent domains. But we've got Randy Roday here, who turned out the lights. Are you talking about my dark background here, man? Hey guys, bring on the boom. Hey Paul Hogding, snowing in your world, condensed, just heavy rain, and you. So they're having a chat there, but always let us know who's there, guys, as well. But other than that, Chris, while we're letting people come in to the show, what is new with yourself? What is happening?
Nothing much. Everything's been pretty much, everything's been pretty good lately, you know? Nothing, I can't report anything really, nothing amazing. I can't really report anything really outstanding. No. Just normal every day, getting ready for Christmas, I guess, and just working. That's it.
Yeah. Now that's cool. Alex Peter is here. Hello, Alex. Dean Signori. We're all sat at the bar and you're doing a Q&A. Tell me about it, mate. I'd love to be at the bar with you guys just now, but sadly, I'm not going to get there until tomorrow morning. We have a UK mastermind, and there's probably like 10 guys or something. Just go and chill out and share knowledge with each other. It's always good, but yeah, I'm not going to get there till tomorrow morning, which is shit. So good. Have a good one tonight, Dean. Hope Gary Wilson and Jasper and anyone else there that's already there don't cause you too much grief. Fraser Cairns, hello, Fraser. Good to see you. Paul Hogdon. Chris has been put through a mango today. Yeah.
I know. I don't understand why. It was perfect. Like when it first logged on, it was perfect. Then once we combined, I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here today?
You've got this new background as well, Chris. What happened to the house? The night of your house that everyone thinks is your house?
It's the same background. It's the same exact thing. It's just it's not. I moved to it. I have a new little office here. So if I switch it, it's just not. It's not official. I'm missing a little bit of space here. You see? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't get it. Whoa, we're getting in there. So how it goes. So I just turned it off and I just used with the background, which is blue.
Madness.
It's fun.
Anyway, Waleed is here. Good to see you guys. We are doing question and answers, so make sure your questions are coming in. Also, make sure you do give us a like and subscribe. Alex Peter, SEO Power Suite had a huge sale yesterday, 75% off. Thoughts on the tool? What's your thoughts on SEO Power Suite? Have you used it?
Power Suite. I mean, it's a relatively old name. I know that. I mean, that's been around for a long time. I haven't heard any buzz about it. I mean, I don't use it now, so I don't want to say anything about them. I have no idea.
I've not used it in a long time. I mean, you're talking 10 years plus. That tool was the last time I heard about that tool, so I'm not sure of its current capacity. I heard someone else say this the other day. I'm probably pretty sure it probably does do a good job. It's just one of those ones I also cannot comment personally on because I've not used it in 10 years, and I'm not even sure if it's even remotely close to being the same tool. But we can't try all the tools, but 75% off is not bad. Atif Shah, how do you do outreach? So, Chris, any tips on outreach?
Well, I thought it was directed at you, but I mean, hey, the only time I'll ever do outreach is only if they allocate me the time and budget to do it, right? If they're going to pay me. And then I'm just looking through the competitors' backlinks and sending out emails. I mean, I'm not using like Pitchbox or any, nothing fancy. I look at the backlinks, I find the contact form, I submit and ask for a link insert. That's pretty much how I do it. That's it. I mean, I don't have any special tips.
we do have in the office, we do have Pitchbox, but in a lot of cases, we reach out to the guy who does outreach and let him do a lot of the grunt work. So there's tons of vendors out there who are going to do it all, who do it all the time, who have the right pitches and do it in a massive scale. So the best way to do that is let them do it. If you are low on budget,
like that.
Pitchbox is a good option, but it's fairly pricey. If you can't afford Pitchbox, then you can use Mailshake and scrape up some emails and just blast people. Do competitor analysis, reach out to a whole bunch of websites. I'm sure you get a decent. If it's a numbers game, essentially. If you do decent numbers, you're going to get some decent replies and work that way. So you get various different options there. But you can also go to linksforyou.com if you want someone else to do it for you and you can't be bothered doing all the grunt work. So that's what most other people do. So there you go. Randy is asking, Chris, if you do your virtual background on the plain wall, it should work.
No. Well, you have to have a green or a blue in the background in order to use, like a chroma key. So, no, I wish I could get it to work, man. This thing drives me crazy. I'm in the background, like clicking. Then Craig's like, what do you think about outreach? I'm like, oh man, I was looking up how to fix this freaking camera. But, I have the background and stuff. I just switched. I'm playing with this new stuff. I wanted to look fresh for Craig's, I got the new stuff. I wanted to look good like Craig does. But look at me. I suck. Hey, I'm just, human.
Man, people still love you, Chris, no matter what.
I know.
You've got.
Never goes right for me.
That convict look. Just standing there.
Yeah.
The photograph.
Let me go in there.
Atif's asking, how do you get niche related backlinks? So Atif, it's the same thing. Reach out, look at the competition. What links are they getting? Obviously, it's up to you what you call niche relevant. Relevancy to me is maybe completely different to Chris, but obviously what you don't want to do is link from a flower shop if you are doing roof repairs or something like that. It's just not at all relevant. Relevant to me, if you were a roof repair company, relevant enough to me, it would be any kind of home improvement company. Some people want it to be other roofers, which I think you're cutting down too specific. So relevance depends on who you are and who you talk to, but you want to keep them at least semi-relevant in most cases. Chris, you anything to add to that?
There's not much to add. I mean, if I'm looking for niche specific, who wants to do manual outreach? Nobody. I'm looking for who it will vouch for a link provider where I can go and buy links, because I've tried links from everybody and it's hard. It's there could be the best metrics, great referring domains, the site's getting traffic, but then you're like sitting, it's been 45 days and you're like, man, I ain't getting nothing off of these links. So I need reputable suppliers that people vouch for, that they're picking the right domains. It's niche specific. You know how it goes. So that's the only thing I can add.
Yeah. No, cool. Randy Rodey, what do you think about affiliate site with a mix of AMZ product links and direct vendor links? Any issues that you can think of?
I like hybrid sites. I think that's the model. I think that's what everybody should do. Yeah.
Why only settle for Amazon? Why? That's crazy. So open up, expand your reach and money making opportunities. So absolutely no. I mean, there's small problems like, if I had an Amazon website, I could use something like AMZ Link Checker to check all the Amazon links to see products were out of stock. Obviously, that's not going to work if you've got private ones. So there's a little bit more manual work to do to check, direct vendor links, if you like. But overall, there is no real negative. It's just maybe a little bit more manual grunt work, if you like. But so be it. If there's more money to be made, then I'm sure you can get a VA on that or whatever. So, yeah. Hybrid sites, as Chris says, everyone should do it.
They should.
Randy again, what does Pitchbox run? I was looking at their site yesterday, no prices listed, and I didn't want to talk to their sales team. So, Randy, they don't list the prices purely because the prices depend on what you want to send out and stuff like that. But you do need to talk to the sales team to give you a walkthrough and a demo of the tool as well. Just their model. They're not particularly looking for volume. They're trying to keep away the crazy time wasters, and not that I'm suggesting you are, by the way, Randy, but they do make it difficult, just to jump in and buy the tool. So it's not that easy. You do have to listen to the demo and all that stuff, and I'm not a fan of that either, but sometimes you've got to suck it up. It's a really good tool. It's a cloud-based thing, so you log in to the back end of it, and you've got all the bells and whistles there. And I mean, when you're doing outreach, you're probably using Pitchbox to about 10% of its capacity. It does so much more than that as well. So it's a really cool tool. The one little quirk I would say for people doing outreach, when you go to Mailshake, right, if you're going to do it cheaply, if you're going to do outreach cheap, you have to scrape. You have to go to Scrapebox or whatever you do to scrape websites and scrape the emails off them. All you need to do with Pitchbox is input the target domains like your competition have got from Ahrefs or SEMrush or whatever, upload them, and that tool does all the scraping for you and finds the email addresses and all of that kind of stuff. So it does all the kind of grunt work for you in that respect. So it's very much worth the money if you're going to be doing a decent level of outreach. So check it out, man. I would highly recommend checking it out.
When I see that, Craig, if they don't list the price, I know it's going to be something. I know it's going to hurt.
On average, about $500 a month for a decent level of outreach. So, I know you like cheap stuff, Chris.
That's not for me. Yeah.
Chris, like 500. Where's the group buy for that shit? But
yeah, that's right.
Ain't no group buys for that shit, I don't think. Jeremy Den Hartog, another new name here. Good to see you, Jeremy. Looking at the history of an expired domain, it was registered from 2015 to 2018, but hasn't been registered since. Is this still considered an aged domain, or would I run into issues with Google Sandbox as if it were a completely new domain?
Yeah, it depends on where you're getting it from. I mean, if it's dropped, it's a new domain. I mean, it is what it is, you know. If you're buying an expired domain and it hasn't been registered since 18, then yeah, it's done. It's been reset. You know, sometimes you could pick them up where the age stays. I think from GoDaddy, I think they do that, right?
Yeah.
But it's still, man, it's dropped out of the index. The pages aren't indexed. They're not getting traffic. It's done. Move on to the next one.
Yeah. Also, if you leave a domain name for 3 years with nothing on it, any metrics and everything are just going to die off. Yeah. Or they should have done. So, yeah, good luck with that one, Jeremy. Maybe move on to the next one. That's what I would suggest as well. Ryan Durrani, question for both. How often do you build out topic clusters on your site? If so, do you house them in folders or just use internal links?
Just internal linking. You know, I think, I mean, we could call it whatever. I mean, I think that's just another way of saying, you know, virtual silos or floating silos, topic clusters. I like that. It sounds new, right? I like that. I made a video on that because I was being asked a bunch of times. But I think just internal is perfectly fine, Ryan. And Ryan, come on, man. I know you already know that. I love when they just ask me questions. Like, I already know.
Ryan sometimes asks questions to keep the conversation going.
Good.
Sometimes he just likes to reaffirm things in his head, though, as well. Because I'm like, Ryan, you fucking asked me this 100 times before. What the fuck? But yeah, sometimes it's good to reaffirm. So guys, if you do have questions, even if it's basic, ask away, just to, even if it just sets something.
Yeah, that's
100% in your head, because sometimes I do that as well. I'm just like, go to run through this again for me and make me understand this again. No shame in doing it. So, Glenn Art, I have a set of 6 to 7 long-tailed keywords. Other than Google AdWords, what tool do you recommend to find search terms in a user-defined search area for the last 6 months?
I mean, for any type of keyword research, I'm going right to SEMrush. That's me. That's where I go. I mean, why else would I go anywhere else? I already have it gives me all the answers I need. I mean, what else do I need? You know?
Google AdWords, keyword tool, and SEMrush is night and day. Absolute night and day. And a lot of people say, I'm not want to pay a monthly subscription. Get a 14-day free trial, do your research, and roll off. Yeah, there's no 12-month contract or anything. So I think, if you want to do the job properly, I think, even having SEMrush for 2 or 3 months, even if that's how long it takes to, expand on your content and everything else at the start, and then maybe not use it after that. That's all.
To the client. I mean, right? Just add it in the top of the, when you're billing out for your client, that's the top one. You owe me 100 for SEMrush and then everything else.
Yeah, I think, any good SEO out there needs something, because you're not just using it for one client, or for one website. So it pays for itself and then some. Just punch it in at SEMrush. Do your keyword research, do your audits, do whatever. It's just a great overall tool, and I think is a pretty much must-have for anyone that's in this game. To be honest, that's all you can really say on that.
And it doesn't have to be SEMrush. They just seem to do the keyword research probably one of the best. I mean, there's other options, but I like it's just laid out good. I'm sure. Well, you do know, Craig.
Yeah, I mean, SEMrush is my preferred choice. There are other options, but SEMrush have over the years been known for their keyword research data. That is always what their primary focus or primary unique selling point was. You don't need to use anything else. There's nothing out there that beats it, put it that way. The level of data and the all that stuff is as good as you get elsewhere. So SEMrush for me is what I would suggest. Alex Peter, local listing GMB for a plumber for X service area or exact address. If you have your GMB set for service areas and the rest of the listings shows your address, what's the impact?
Your GMB for a plumber service area or exact address. If you have one GMB set for a service area and the others of them have the address, what's the impact? What's the impact? One has the address and the other ones don't. I think that you're putting more spots on the board. If we're looking at the map as a board, right? A game board, because it is. So if you have more spots, one's listed, one isn't. It's only an advantage. Who cares? I don't think there's a disadvantage to doing it that way. You have more spots on the board, more chance to get seen. So I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, definitely not. The more chances you've got of being seen, as Chris says, the better it is for you in your business. So get more spots in the board. A lot of people are doing a lot of spots in the board. And just hitting, certain areas that maybe don't have a lot of competition or whatever, so they can get quick results, quick traffic. So get as many spots as you can without taking the piss, obviously, and don't get yourself banned. Right. So there you go. Atif Shah. We have tried to contact writer of BBC and other big sites, but no response. Can you please suggest a source who can do it for us or any specific method? Don't try and approach the BBC with a guest post or some rubbish idea. That's one of the UK's biggest news websites. It's like me going to CNN and pitching one of my pishy, Craig's got 50,000 subscribers. They would just turn around and laugh and throw it in the bin. They might not, but
if you have enough cake, they might do it for you.
So you can. The trick here, or the method, is to have something that's newsworthy. Now, what do these BBC want? They don't necessarily want to hear garbage about SEO. They're looking for murders, crime, everything else. But if they were to do a generic story, you would need to have a cool angle, something interesting backed up by stats and facts, something like, Chris Palmer SEO, I don't even know, right? But yeah, I was going to make up some bullshit there, and I don't even know what I was going to say, so I'm just not going to say it because it'll come out all wrong and end up making me look like a twat. But you have to be creative, and you have to be creative. You have to make it newsworthy. Would the general public be interested in reading what you're pitching? That's what you need to ask yourself. And a lot of PRs are the people that do that stuff to the BBC, or the journalists from the BBC will pick that up from the local press and the news and stuff like that. There is a guy in here called Randy Roday who does PR. You may want to speak to him. I can't guarantee he'll get you in the BBC or anything like that, but he knows how to pitch properly. He has a creative mind when it comes to pitching that stuff, and it's that type of person that you want to speak to who's going to get you a much better chance of getting successful placements on big-ass sites like that, or pay the money. Just reach out to someone, say, how much is this going to cost? And you might get an answer. So there you go. Anything to add, Chris?
Nothing to add. No, that was pretty good.
To add.
I don't want to sound like a twat. You're funny, man. I like you, Craig. You're a great guy. You're funny. You just make me laugh sometimes. I'll even tell, not little Chris, but I'll tell like my wife. I'm like, you should hear this guy on here sometimes. Like, this is a professional channel, We're just like, it's so fun. It's good. I love it. I love this. Sorry.
Oh, man.
Sorry.
So Glenn Art's asking, I have one location and a 10-year-old GMB site. I want to set up 5 or 6 more GMBs around 15 miles apart. Who can you recommend to purchase GMBs from in the USA, Michigan area so Google cannot figure it out?
Well, I mean, I find it, I think it's going to be relatively hard for you to find somebody to publicly speak about a vendor. Any case, though, the vendor that I was currently using, I guess somebody just ran into some trouble. So I don't want to point you in the right direction. Aside from that, you're on the right path with 15 miles apart. But Google, hey, it's not Google figuring it out. It's your competition outing you is where you run into trouble. When Joy and the team start looking, they're just looking for stuff. So you got to be careful. Got to be careful. But I don't have any vendors. Craig?
I mean, I'll give you one name and you have to go and find them yourself. Matthew Versteeg. Reach out to him and see if he can help you. If he can't, he might know someone who does. Find them on Facebook. That's all I'm saying. Don't want to get anyone else into trouble or any other shit band. So, whoop. Probably said too much already, but hey ho. Ryan Houghton, good evening, folks. All good here, mate. How are you? Alejandro Vega, where do you guys get guest posts from? So, Chris, anything you can share?
Gary, I guess. I don't know. Where else? Yeah, I mean, I buy PBN links. I buy PBN links and I build buffers to hit with whatever links I could get. So that's how I do it.
Go to linksforyou.com is a good guest post supplier. So check them out. Ryan Durrani's talking about the topic cluster word. You know it, baby. Course coming out in 2021 and topic clusters. Act this.
No way. No way. I would lose my mind if I had to spend. No way. You'll never see a training on that from me.
Never say never, Chris. If there's money to be made there.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but I don't know.
Oh man, look at this question. Where can I get an expired domain from, Ryan?
Man,
Chris.
I don't know.
Well, ODYS.
What's that?
Get an age domain from ODYS.
There you go.
Yep.
Now that was the setup, Ryan. Good one. But GoDaddy Auctions, Snap, Jet. I mean, go find them. I recently got a tool and I was playing with it. Oh, man, they're rough to find. What I would be looking for is somebody that has them that's off the grid or it's harder to get to. Somebody that's pulling them before they're hitting the marketplace. You're going to pay a premium, but it's definitely worth it. That's what I'd be looking for. There are people out there that are drop catching that you can find them, but you're going to pay 200 plus for them. But you'll get what you want.
Guys, do keep the questions coming. Do give us a like and subscribe as well. Also check out Mr. Chris Palmer's channel, Chris Palmer SEO. Give him a little like because he's pumping out all sorts of content. So always worth a look over there. But yeah, keep the questions coming. We've still got 33 minutes to go. Sad Arshad, quick question. Do you guys ever see a project and say that this project requires Facebook ads and influencer marketing rather than SEO? If so, what are some of the signs that make you consider that?
Well, I've never just, if somebody's coming to me, I'm never going to just say, oh, you need this. For me, these are all different traffic sources. These are different campaigns. So I think any full-fledged campaign, depending on what it is going to contain content marketing, Facebook ads or Google ads. You know, it's just part of the process. I wouldn't just, say it needs this only. I've never ran into that personally.
I think the only way you're going to think is influencer. Right. So first off, sending traffic to any website is a good thing through Facebook ads. Not only does it generate instant leads, but helps with click-through rate, engagement, and stuff like that, which all indirectly help SEO. So I think that's part of the course when you start out a project. If you can throw some budget and some paid ads whilst the SEO is working, that's a smart marketing strategy for pretty much almost anyone. Influencer marketing rather than SEO. So here's a story. I once had a guy who sold hair extensions. I don't know, it was like real life hair or something. I'm not that big into it. But this guy used to basically pay a girl on YouTube to sit with this hair extension on and talk to her 3 million subscribers saying, these are these hair extensions, blah, 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 blah. You can buy them from here. Now, when he paid that girl, and he would pay that person like $5,000 or something to do that, his inbox or his sales just went through the roof. It was boom, 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 boom. So much sales to the point where he actually didn't want to do SEO. He's like, I'll just pay her $5,000 because paying her $5,000 is going to return him $100,000. Now, if you're a clothing brand or something else, a lot of people, to get their name out there, rather than spend countless amounts of money on ads and SEO to try and get out there, they use celebrities and stuff. They go on Instagram, give away the free stuff, and get their brand built. So what you want to do is just look at what's going on round about you. There's brands out there that make a lot of money solely on things like Instagram, like fashion brands and stuff like that. Now, that's the type of sign that would make me consider that first and foremost. Is it worth spending, $5,000 a month trying to fight with all the top retailers in the world to get my t-shirt out there or my clothing brand out there? Or is it easier just to pay a celebrity or give them a freebie or work that way? And I think taking advantage of some people's following to generate that traffic and increase brand awareness, then go and try and do paid ads when more money's coming in, and you might be able to compete. Because when you're looking at something and you're going, geez, that that you need deep pockets to enter this industry, you can look to alternatives like influencers who try and get that traffic to you. So that would be my theory on it. Whew, I'm out of breath after saying all of that.
You're thorough with these answers, Craig. You just make sure there's no questions left after. You know what I mean? Like, you answered it. I love it. Good.
Is rank and rent dead in 2021?
I don't see that. I don't think so. I don't think so. No, absolutely not.
What you need to keep in mind is so many industries out there, guys don't even have websites, never mind SEO. So whilst that's the case, you've got an opportunity to get someone on board for ranking.
All day.
And Ryan Durrani is suggesting avoid saturated markets that SEOs have abused. You probably do want to consider that, because there's certain industries that SEOs just walk in and, you know, they don't even make one website. You know, they're guys like Chris and stuff like that are running with multiple websites trying to clean up on page one. So probably not wise to fight with other SEOs and niches. There's enough money out there and a wide range of niches. So. Oh
yeah. And there's money in weird places. Like there's niches like that. I talk to guys and I'm like, really? You're getting how much from this? I'm like, oh, really? Shit, I should start myself up one of them sites, you know?
Yeah. Here is a question, Chris. Just an off the cuff bit of fun. What is the weirdest niche you saw a guy making money from?
Well, I don't want to say it. But it had to do with like the hair and stuff, which was really weird. When I heard that, I was like, man, that's really strange. Because you always hear fences, windows, you know what I mean? Home repairs and this and that. But that was probably pretty strange when I heard that. You know, I didn't think that was a profitable niche, not by any stretch of the imagination, but it was. That was pretty weird. You know.
Interesting. There's always, I'm never surprised anymore. I've seen over the years too many where people have been making too much money. And I'm just like, man, why did I not think of that shit?
Oh, running photography. I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
That was just recently. I talked to a young lady. She was doing that. Maybe I shouldn't have said that, but running photography, because like everybody's trapped inside and they can't go to the gyms and they're doing, dude, it's weird stuff. That was pretty good. She's cleaning up, you know.
Very niche. Very niche.
Very niche.
But there's something for everyone out there. That is the thing. Yes, guys, keep questions coming. We are nearly up to date with all the questions. Still 25 minutes left. Why is Chris so thin on this today? Have you not been eating, Chris?
No, I've been eating good lately, actually, man. No, I don't know. I'm so upset though, because I wanted to flex on Craig a little because he's got the good setup. I wanted to be like, look at this aperture, look at this bokeh in the background, but my head's this big, you know. But hey, I don't know. I really have no idea, because I checked OBS before I got on. I don't know. Bear with me. Ask me a hard question, then you can say, he looked like crap, but at least he had good info for me today.
Yeah, ask him a hard question. Ask him anything you want, guys. Ryan Houghton is all good. Been looking into content side of SEO today, competition research, etc. The boring part of SEO, I guess, but someone's got to do it. So good luck with that, Ryan. What would you suggest for a beginner? Rank and Rent or Amazon affiliate, Chris? What would you suggest to someone entering?
Always step one, go and find the winner. Who's winning? Who can you look at that's doing it successfully? And then just don't stop at one, go to number two. And then just literally take a look. What's their site look like? Sign up with their email. Like, how many emails are they sending? Like, what are they doing? Do they have social? And if you sign up to social, are they sending you automated messages? Like, what are they doing? Because if they're ranking and or they're paying for ads too, they must be doing something. So that's what I would do. That's the first step. Go and see who's the winner. And I guess model or mimic, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, but you could enter either of these, to be fair, as a beginner. I think it's always a learning curve. The choice is really yours. But
and that's a thing. I do it all the time. Just start doing it. Like, you're going to stumble and fumble and stink and it's not going to work, but who cares? You're going to learn lessons every single time that you screw up. It's a lesson. It's a lesson. It's a lesson. And just keep going. Because I get my head cracked all the time. So don't feel bad. Don't feel bad.
Yeah, that's all part of the apprenticeship.
Oh yeah.
Or training. Alex Peters asking, for a local business, Plumbing Ontario, Canada, for example, they have both domains, businessname.ca and businessname.com. Should .ca redirect to .com or vice versa? Details impact or don't worry?
Man, if I was in Canada and my primary focus was in Canada, I'd probably redirect it if that was the only options. I would use the CA domain. However, I don't know why you can't have two sites if the budget is there. You know, why not have two? Why not take up more spaces? So
Yeah.
that's up to you though. But if I had to decide if it was only going to be one, I'd go with the CA. That's just me.
Always try and go with the location specific. I think it does give you a little bit of an additional boost in that country. I set off with a .co.uk myself, being based in the UK. I did decide to flip it to .com because there was more money in America. But hey ho. But yeah, if you're solely focused in Canada, I think what Chris said is the right answer. Any masterminds coming up tomorrow? Come on, man. No masterminds, man, in case someone else reports it to the police. Did you see that story, Chris?
No.
So we're having a mastermind tomorrow, and some douchebag reported it to the police, saying, "Is this legal?" Because we're supposed to have this COVID isolation thing and all that stuff. 8 guys going and doing work, business related stuff, and some snake reported it to the police. But hey ho,
the actual police.
Yeah, the actual police.
Oh.
Madness. That's what you've got in this world. So I'm not saying any more about that mastermind. So all in the heart. This is the thing, right? See, if you're going to be a snake, that's why masterminds happen, because people can't talk publicly about what they do and strategies that you use, because someone's likely to dob you in or some crap like that and break it all for you. And it's the same with doing masterminds. People are still, reporting it or whatever. No idea why. We're not doing anything wrong, but that's what you're up against in this world. Mark Slorens, Polish escorts, Glasgow, no lie, top niche. Listen, Polish have very nice women, and I'm sure they'll get very nice men as well. Polish escorts in Glasgow, they're never even Googled it. I'm going to have to Google that now. Media Bay, Austria is watching. Thank you very much, Media Bay from Austria. Good to see you here. Nice to see someone from Austria in here. I think you might be the first person that's said they're from there. Paul Andre, what's up, fellas? Tip: when resizing the window, hold shift and drag from the corner. Usually does the trick to keep the scaling ratio in most programs. So I'm not sure if that.
Yeah, well, I mean, with the StreamYard, it's
automatic. Yeah, on StreamYard, we don't have control.
Buttons and it's there. I didn't mess with the camera. I mean, it's all. I don't know, man. What can I do?
Paul, have you been on Paul Andre's show?
I think we have. I don't think we have something scheduled for April. So coming up.
Interesting. I was going to say the best I've ever seen in terms of production and stuff like that, and it's real good stuff. So Paul, keep up the good work. With that, guys, do check out the Mr. Paul Andre's podcast.
Did he change the name? I thought it was like Video SEO or something like that, or SEO Videos. I don't
think he's changed the name. Because he sometimes comes in here and comments with the name of the podcast rather than his own name. But yeah, check it out. I can't even remember the name off the top of my head. But Paul, tell me the name of your podcast. Yeah, SEO Video Show.
That's it.
That is the one. I've been in that many podcasts. I don't even know the name of my own podcast, and we've not even named this show, and we've been doing it for about 10 months.
Really? Wow.
I think maybe 9 months.
Wow.
8 months. Start of COVID. Been going a while.
Amazing.
Is there scope for Amazon affiliate websites in 2021? What is easy among rank and rent and Amazon to generate first dollar immediate money? I think we're thinking about this wrong.
Exactly.
I think if you want instant money, then I would probably go down the rank and rent out of the two of the options. Amazon's a hard slog, and you're not get one with Amazon. You do not paid until 2 months later down the line. So just bear that in mind. Some affiliates will pay you out monthly, but with Amazon, it's 2 months later. Secondly, if you want quick results, then you could get Rank and Rent and do some GMB stuff and get money fairly instant. But again, it's not about how quickly you can make money. I think either of these are building assets, building, whether that's a GMB or a website or whatever, and that takes time and patience. So
that's right.
There you go. Anything to add to that, Chris?
No, that's exactly. It's so funny. I was exactly going to say that. You're thinking about it all wrong. I mean, anything worth having is going to be hard and take time. So, it is what it is.
If it was that easy, we would
already. I have a million websites. So, no.
Good to see you, Rafael Santos. Alex Mags Wellings is asking, why does Chris look skinny today? His camera's worse than yours, Alex. That is the problem.
I'm wondering because it's an ultra. I have no idea. Maybe it is an ultra wide lens. Is yours an ultra wide?
Nah, mine's is just standard. Mine's is like a little Logitech C920, just a basic one. But it's
wow! So that's even makes me feel even worse because this is like official tissue right here.
James Jernigan. Once you have a site ranking in a highly competitive niche like locksmithing, how do you get top dollar for it as a freelancer? Cold calling or list it on a marketplace?
So, I mean, it's going to be relationships that you've already built or you're building. I mean, obviously, before I go into a market, I would probably already have somebody that has money ready, and then get in position. So, I think it's more relationships, cold calling. I don't know about cold calling, but I think it's more about relationships or established relationships are going to get you the highest price. So that's my best.
Yeah. I mean, I've done the cold calling thing many years ago, phoning guys. Listen, I've got this website. It ranks #1. See, to be honest, the guys don't know what that even means. They're just crazy. So I think you do need to nurture that relationship, and it's not just a cold call because the guy probably doesn't want to speak to you anyway.
Right.
And he probably doesn't know what you're talking about. So I think building those relationships or getting a hold of someone in that business and
exactly
educating them is the way you need to do it. Alex Peter, legacy blog post and regular pages with extra HTML code from a different CMS, mostly styling. Is it worth spending the time cleaning it?
I mean, misnested HTML code and misformatted HTML code and all of this stuff and extra HTML code. There's scripts that run in the background that Google, I think, runs that clean it. Also, too, I wouldn't worry about it. It's all about time, impact, and money, right? So is that going to have a high impact on your business? These are the things you need to think about. Is it high impact? Is it going to cost me money? Is it going to cost me time? And is it worth it? So that wouldn't be the first thing I do. So that's my answer.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. It's all about whether it returns anything for the time and money spent on it.
That's it. Is it hurting you? If it's not hurting you, move on to the next thing. Should be
So Media Bay has a question about Gmb listings. I created a listing for an advertising company and just got an address from a friend. So I told him to wait for the postcard. No postcard arrived.
Well,
I gave it a second try, second time, also no postcard. Yesterday I thought, okay, let's try and see if there's another option. And when pressing the verify button, it verified automatically. Why would that be?
Luck of the draw. It's luck of the draw, my friend. You got lucky. Say thank you and move on to the next.
No citations, no phone number, nothing, no website, and it worked.
Yeah.
Probably just a sheer fluke. To be honest, I would imagine that little things like that happen weirdly now and again. But
oh yeah,
ask no questions. Just put everything else you want to put on there. Your website, phone number, or whatever else you've got, and get your citations built and get that shit ranking, basically. And hopefully it sticks. It should stick. No reason for it not to. Jeremy said he was wrong with his initial question. The main name I referred to was registered from 2014 to September the 6th, 2020. It still has a few pages indexed in Google. Still not worth messing with. It doesn't have any authority, but it's mostly an exact match domain, except for the domain has an S at the end, making it plural.
Well, Jeremy, I mean, if it fits into the campaign that you're running, or it could be utilized, like not just like, oh, I have an idea, but can it be implemented in something you're working on right now? It has pages indexed. So that does change things a little bit. But, I have, just don't go buy a domain just because, if it fits in, or if you have a definite plan for it right now, then it makes sense. But if not, I would it's a cool name, but just keep moving on with what you're doing. But it has pages indexed, so it does have value of sorts, especially if it's something you're going to use right now. So hopefully that helps you.
Can't really see anything else over and above that. James Jernigan. That has been my experience with cold calling as well. That's why I asked. Yeah, it's especially with guys like locksmiths, plumbers, builders, and stuff like that. They have no clue or time to think about marketing. They don't even know what it is. They're used to paying for yellow pages and various other bits and bobs. So I've always found that to be problematic, and that is why I would say that try and avoid certain niches, where guys are like that. And I think it's more of a UK thing, by the way. And I'm not sure where you're based, James, but that's my experience in the UK. People, because I used to always say, just avoid crappy locksmiths or builders and stuff like that. But people make so much money from it over in the US because they're probably 5 years ahead in terms of their thought process on marketing and stuff like that. So depending where you're located, could also be a bit, a bit of the problem. Shubham, where should I redirect an expired domain? Is it to the home page or what to gain maximum link juice?
Well, if you're assured that this is a quality domain, you've already maybe launched a page, it indexed, there's no issues with it. It's a great domain. Why do you have to send it straight into your site? Why don't you have a buffer layer? Because there could always be some type of trouble. So maybe an intermediate page might be a better option, especially if you plan on doing this multiple times. Why show everybody what you're doing? So that's my best advice for you, buddy.
Yeah, that's good advice. If you do decide not to take that advice, let me give you this example. So if I was to go out there and I've got my own website, now I do SEO training, blah, 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 blah. If I seen a great expired SEO training website and I had to point it to my website, I'd be pointing that to the SEO training section of my website, not necessarily the homepage. So you can power up sections or specific parts of your website with that. But as Chris says, would you want to show everyone what you're doing? Do you want to give people the opportunity to report you for that? As Chris says, put a buffer there, just and it hides that track. Although, have you seen that Majestic, and I've not tried it yet, Chris, but Majestic SEO can now reverse engineer like tier 1 and tier 2 links. I think they brought an update out, so you've now got this little diagram where it will say, like, that points to your money website, and then all this other shit's pointing to that. So
that's cool.
You have to be even more careful now. If tools like that are digging deeper, then we are going to have to think about what we're doing. So be careful, and maybe if you're going to do that stuff, try and block the Majestic bot as well from crawling your website, guys. But that's enough on that. Media Bay, some guys have told me just to have backlinks and citations from local listings and niche relevant websites, only in Austria, for example. What if I collect backlinks and citations from other countries?
Well, if you have a local business, the citations, other than like your top citation sources, right? You know, the best, you know, the top citation sources, those citations should be localized. Now, when we're talking about links, that's a whole nother story. I know they're kind of the same, but they're not. Links can come from wherever, as long as it's relevant to the niche. So that would be the best advice there. Citations, other than the top ones, I think I would get the best ones, and then localized backlinks I would get from whatever is relevant for your brand, business, or service. So that's my advice there.
Good advice, as always, from Chris. I can't really add much else to that. Christopher O'Neill, hi. As we all need to rank on Google first page, why are there more researches after Google page 1?
Why are there more resources? Why are there more? What if only page 1 matters? Why are there other pages? That's how I'm understanding it. I mean, yeah. Google, it's indexing the web. That's its job. It's here's the most relevant results, and then here's the rest. I think it's just part of the process. I don't know. That's a good question. You know, it's kind of funny when you think about it. Like, why do they even show this other stuff? I don't know.
I mean, I think the thing is, if you want to troll through it, and yeah, he's just confirmed that is his reason for the question. You know, people do dig deep in terms of research on certain topics. Sure. They don't want to just read what the first or second or third result is. And just let me give a little argument here. If you're doing research for anything, Chris Palmer, who's good at SEO, could basically make himself position 1, 2, or 3. Does that mean that information is correct or the right thing to buy?
That's right.
Absolutely not. So that is the thing. The Google is a search engine, and not everything's truthful on there. And I think Google also have to give you the ability to dig a little bit deeper in certain topics. Well, on every topic really, because you know someone can manipulate whatever to get to page 1, position 1. Doesn't mean it's the best product or the best quality, but of course they're going to get the most traffic, and people blindly buy stuff and don't give a toss. So you're catering for everyone doing it this way, and I think, as Chris says, it's just part of the process as well. But yeah, who knows? Who knows?
They probably don't even know.
Yeah,
they just let that sucker run, you know. They don't even know. They ask him questions I watch on those talks, and he's like, "I don't know, but we should go check that out." You know, they don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, I can imagine there's a lot of things like that with Google.
Yeah,
like, man,
we don't know.
It ended up working out this way because it's just this small thing that's got so big over all these years, and it's out of capacity in a lot of ways. But
oh yeah,
Alex Peter, quoted text on WordPress is duplicate content. How about testimonials and reviews from directories?
Well, I don't know why. So what? What, you know, duplicated content in quotes, not in quotes. Like it doesn't matter if it's making your page more relevant. If the end user is getting the best result, right? Whether it's duplicate, it's not. That's all that Google cares about. So I'm not sure exactly how you're positioning the question. Like, are you asking, like, is this a problem? Should I have it? Should I not have it? What about this? What about that? I wouldn't worry about it. Your goal is to give your users the best answer. That's it. So whether it's duplicate, not, doesn't matter.
Yeah, and if it's going to be duplicate reviews, as long as your other content around about that's unique, that's not going to be a problem. You know, many people have got duplicate reviews, and they do take their stuff from, you know, Trustpilot, put it onto their website or whatever. If they've got a good review, they're just trying to encourage click-through rate, trust, and everything else. So, yeah, no problem at all from that point of view. Should links ever be sent to a GMB directly? Is this also a place where a buffer should be used?
Well, I think yes and no. I mean, it just depends. So yes, I think that there should be links out there that you should be driving traffic through. Whether it's share a post and you're bringing traffic in, but I wouldn't sending links directly to the GMB. No, I wouldn't do that. But I mean, as far as sending in traffic and things along those lines, yes, I would. But no, in my, buying PBN links and hitting the main property, no, that's not what I do.
There's a lot of other things you can do, as Chris says. Sending a bit of traffic and stuff like that can have a huge impact, and that might be all you need to do. So keep the good, juicy stuff for your pages and organic listings. Lavelle, I'm not even sure what that says. Live IRL fan. Do you still recommend using CTR Booster for YouTube?
I do. That's not me. Yeah, no, I don't. I haven't utilized that tool personally, so I don't know. I have no idea.
Yes, still works very well. That's all I'm going to say on that.
I don't send anything to my YouTube ever. I don't ever risk my YouTube channel ever. I don't send anything in. Never.
I'm the same. I don't send nothing. It's paid ads and
paid ads, yeah.
But yeah, that's it. So yeah, keep it clean. Keep it clean, man. Scruffles is a big page with every intention better or like a topic cluster?
No, one page, one keyword, one idea, one page. Now you can have secondary ideas, but once you veer away from the main topic or the main idea, that's a new page. So one idea, you can have sub thoughts, right? Heading tags, subheading tags. Yeah. Once you have a new idea, it's a new page. Yeah. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah, and if you do have trouble getting your head around about that, there's a great tool out there called Keyword Cupid, which will give you can upload your keywords, and that will kind of give you a guide as to whether it's a subtopic or whether it's going to be another article supporting content for a big post or whatever. You want to try and understand how Google sees that stuff rather than blindly guessing at it. So keywordcupid.com is the domain name if you want to do that. It's low cost, good tool, helps you with that, and can also just help you with on page as well and your subheadings and condensing some of the stuff in your website as well. So it's a great tool for that. Guys, we are nearly out of time. Do you have any final questions you want us to answer? Before we go, Chris, what is your schedule like for next week? Do we wrap this up until New Year, or what is your plans? Are you winding down, or are you still working? Or
it's unless it's the 25th or the 1st, it's business as usual for me. I mean, I don't know about you.
Well, let's do next week as well. I'm not. I'll get bored if I close down for too long. So yeah, we'll be back next week. Fair enough. We've got a couple of last questions. Stephen Ramo Tawoski, what are your preliminary thoughts on the December algorithm update? Seen any patterns on your own sites? Any further thoughts, Chris? I think we spoke about this last week. But
yeah, no. I mean, I haven't noticed anything really, not with my own sites, but others, yes. But I think it's really irrelevant. I might have seen something. Who cares? But my thought could be something totally different, because I go through like the forums and stuff, and one guy says this, one guy says this, and then he's like, I see this, I see that. I'm like, whoa, I see this though. We could go on for days with this.
I mean, I've heard a lot of people saying it's link related. Then on the flip side, I've heard a lot of people saying affiliates have been hit massively with the kind of the best or the top kind of keywords. They think maybe intent is the big thing here, but I still think it's too early to kind of give it any real answer, because things are still shuffling around a bit, a fair bit there. And the truth is, no one actually knows. So, working with a lot of affiliates and all those guys are saying, oh shit, our affiliate stuff been hit. And everyone's going to say it's this, it's that, depending on what niche they work in. It's a core update. It's been a big one, and it has shuffled a lot of stuff around. But some people say it's intent based. Some people say it's like based. Some people probably, I've not seen anyone say it, but I'd probably say it's crappy content that's been penalised. So just be careful what you read. Relax. Don't do any rash changes because you may cause even more harm. Sit tight for another week or so and see what happens there. Final one, Shubham. What exactly is duplicate content? Like, if I use some paid tool like Article Forge, will it rank? I'll leave this one to you, Chris.
Well, Article Forge is going to spin content. Will it rank is a whole nother question. Then is it considered duplicate content, right? Will it rank? Maybe. Depends on if it's super low competition, you might get one off. But as far as duplicate content, the objective, if we're talking about this tool, is to make unique content. So that's the answer there. But duplicate content it does not matter. It doesn't matter. I mean, you're not ever going to beat the original, usually. But usually if you're just using pieces of duplicate, it's not that big of a deal. Shabam. So don't worry about it. But move on from these tools. Go, it's just pay somebody.
To do it properly and don't worry about things like this.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. There's no shortcuts. You're not going to win taking a shortcut.
Yeah.
I tried every shortcut there is, brother. So you can't win taking shortcuts. It sucks to say. I know. There are little tricks to help the process move faster. But as far as a shortcut, no such thing.
Yeah.
That helps you.
And finally, we'll get two last ones that popped in. Blazing proxies for this guy for CTR Booster. Try and avoid packet stream, which a lot of people have problems with. Media Bay, I've checked my GMB source code last time and there were different names of my business listing. I often change the name of the company and it pushes different results in GMB. Google maybe collects.
Yeah, man, changing that name out can be problematic. You might get temporary boosts, but generally the objective for a GMB is to be synonymous with your keyword or semantic with your keyword. Somebody searches for, I don't know, SEO consultant, synonymous, Chris Palmer, right? That's the objective. You want to be an authority, a brand for a particular keyword. That's the goal with the GMB, in my opinion. So hopefully that helps you.
So that is us, guys, for this week. We will be back next week for the same again. Chris has just confirmed he's not taking it easy over Christmas, so and neither have I. I've not got it in me to just lie around and do nothing. So I need to keep out the way of the wife, keep from under her feet, and just get on here. So we will catch you all again next week. But thank you, everyone who asked everything today. Thank you, Chris. Thanks, ODYS. And we will catch you next week, guys.
Thank you.
If you do want a £100 sign-up bonus, make sure you use the link below for ODYS. Go near direct. You're not going to get your bonus. So check them out for Age Domains, you guys, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.
See ya. Bye.